Hey guys, how's it going? So, skipped a few things, got the cage done, and we are out here at the track, ready to make a rip. I'm gonna start off on relatively low boost to see how that goes. Gotta play around with getting it off the line because it has a different final drive. So yes, it's all guesswork right now. I just hope it gets down the track. That's all I'm hoping for right now. So let's see how that goes. Nervous as heck. Pretty good. Felt like it didn't have any boost in it. There you go. 11.6. Ew. Take a look at that log. See what we got out of there. Let's see what we got. I can't have to have a nano O2 sensor on you, would you? Alrighty, let's try that again. Alright, so first run, 11.649 at 126. So what had happened was, when I first looked at the slip, I thought, alright, well, there's no boost in it. That's fine. That's, you know, it's probably going to waste game. You gotta add some duty. Turns out that was like at like 38 psi. Then I started to get really worried, because that's really slow for what the car is supposedly making at 38 psi. The car made like 385 on 38. What did I say? Did I say 385? Car made 585 on at 38 psi. That was fun. So yeah, the car made 585 at 38 psi. So it really should have been chooching at that point. Yeah, this is like, you know, 400 horsepower kind of range right here. Got back to the pits, and I noticed that the O2 readings were like way off, like way off, like reading like 89, 90. So you can see in the video where I'm sitting there staring at the logs, and you know, I'm talking to Manuel, and yada yada. Ended up, you know, Carlos had a O2 sensor that I could borrow or buy, whatever, replace a O2 sensor that I could use. Because he comes prepared, because he's that type of guy. So he had one, replaced the sensor. Reason why this was so slow, like I said, O2 sensor was bad, and it was reading like ridiculously lean, and so the fuel tech was basically commanding maximum richness. Like it was like I have it set to up to 30%, so it was like 30% more fuel than it actually needed, and so it was just pig rich. It's weird because it didn't sound bad. It didn't sound like it was like struggling, but it was definitely drowning in fuel the entire way down the track. I even asked my buddy, I was like, did you see like white smoke or anything out the tailpipe? Because I mean, it was rich. But yeah, so second run was a 11.105 at 133. You can see that. There we go. 60 foot, meh. Like I said, still relearning the car. The car has a taller final drive in it. I forgot to record this run, and I also forgot to log this run, so I got no idea what was going on. One thing I do note is that near the top end, third and fourth gear, it sounded like the car was spinning, and I was like, that's weird. This car shouldn't be spinning 9-inch, 24.5 slicks. I was like, oh, you know, it's cold. Maybe there's some dew on the track or something. Maybe someone spilled something. I don't know. Just brushed it off. I mean, I kind of know what I think it was. I was like, it's probably the clutch. Clutch probably isn't holding anymore. And I was like, no, it's just spinning. So yeah, this run was kind of garbage. Just bad launch and bad everything. But at least it was a improvement over the first run, so it showed that the car was at least making power. It's just that at, you know, 133, that's not any more power than what it was before the rebuild. So, but like I said, second day out. It's been 2 years since I've been to the track. Basically a new setup. I mean, same setup, new setup. Power band's different. The final drive makes everything different. Didn't have a log on this, so I really don't know what was weird about that one. So the last run of the night, got back down into the 10s. I should be ecstatic about that, but it's funny, I'm just like, because it's a high 10. But 10.9, 136, so that's pretty cool. 136 is, that's chooching. 136.79, so almost 137, so that's better. 106 in the 8th, 7.2 to the 8th, which is pretty slow. I'm sorry, pretty freaking slow. 4.8 330, which isn't horrible, at least for me anyways. 1.695 to the 60 foot. I was really hoping that with the new final drive it was 60 foot a lot better, but I've got some issues to work through. So looking at the computer here, looking at my log. So this is the second log, or the third log. This is the first run. This is the first run where it was just like super duper, it was reading super rich. You can even see the O2 readout on there. It's like, where is it? O2 general. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty much just like maxed out the entire way through the run. Here you got O2 closed loop. So yeah, this blue line here, so you can see right here where O2 sensor is reading good, and then after like halfway through the two-step, it just goes straight up to like max, like reading 106, 103, whatever. And I didn't notice it because I wasn't really watching it. And I should. It's one of those things I should watch. I should set a alarm for when that type of stuff goes weird. But anyways, you know, I just sent it and it sounded fine. This is some of that weird potential clutch slippage kind of thing going on here. I wouldn't be shocked if it spun in second gear. That wouldn't shock me. But third and fourth, you can see these spiky guys here for the RPM. You know, it definitely seems like something's a little weird, and it wasn't too bad. The second run, this was a lot more severe, especially in third and gear. You get third and fourth gear, you could really hear it. But no video, no logs, I don't have that. But anyways, the last run, kind of sort of got things together. First thing to note is my pedal position. See, I'm here on two-step. This is the green line is the pedal position. So I was not all the way pedal down. I was at like, what is that, 46% pedal. And then after I let out, I for some reason decided to try and pedal the car myself. And I dropped all the way down to like 27% throttle, you know, first gear. And just, I don't know what I was doing. So this 60 foot, this 169 60 foot, if I was pedal down all the way and I just let the time-based traction control do what it's supposed to do, this could have been a really good 60 foot. This probably could have been like a 160, 159, like probably a pretty decent 60 foot. So that part would have helped a lot. The second thing that I note on this run is, one, my shifting sucks in two different ways. One, my shifting's really slow, and two, I short shifted just about every gear. First gear, I think I did pretty good. I wound out to 8,000. I think what I will do next time is for first gear and second gear, I will wind it out to 85, because even winding out, in this case, winding out first gear to 8,000, I land at like low 5,000, you know, in the next gear, and I really need to be like 5,500, you know, in the next gear to really like get into that sweet spot where turbo's gonna instantly respond. That's like peak torque, peak everything. So so ideally, yeah, first gear I should probably rev it out to like 85. Same thing with second gear. So I short shifted second gear. I shifted at 7,500. Don't know why. It just felt right, I guess. I think I'm still used to the shorter gear ratio, or the shorter final drive. So just muscle memory, I guess. But I only wound it out to 7,500. Didn't wait for the shift light, shift it, and then when I landed in third, I landed all the way down at 47.87. So this turbo really doesn't do anything until about there. You know, it doesn't really hit full boost until about 5,500. You know, so I really want to be around that 5,500 range. This is where I really should want to land in third gear. So at a minimum, I really need to wind second gear out to 8,000. I'll probably wind it out to like 83 or something like that, just so that I can land in the sweet spot in third gear. So you can see third gear, practically no boost, but 24 psi, you know, so we got pretty much no boost at 4,800. We're at 12 psi, 24 by 56 by 5,900. We're at 28 psi, and this is all time spent accelerating, but this is all low power, you know. Third gear is a tall gear, you know, all time accelerating, no power, no boost, or not peak boost anyways. And so we really don't see our target boost of 38 until about 7,100. So third gear is kind of a bust. And so I really think that if we nail the 2-3 shift, revved it out to 83, we land at like 86, 87, 57, you know, 100 or something around that in second gear, that boost will be a lot more aggressive. Will come in a lot more aggressive, and we should have a full 38 across that entire power band. And if we had 38 across that whole power band, that would cut a lot. That would be a lot. That would do a lot for the entire run. Kind of short shifted. Yep, nope, short shifted third gear as well. Shifted at 77. Not as bad of a deal going into fourth gear, because in fourth gear I still landed at 5,400. But if I were to shift at 8,000, leaving third, going into fourth, we would land at like 6,000, in fourth gear, and that would we'd have all the boost and much better run. So a lot of room for improvement in there. If I had the better 60 foot and actually wound it out like I should have, could have been like a 10.5, 10.4, probably would have trapped like, I don't know, 140 probably. If we had full boost through third gear, probably easily would have been a 140 trap if we had boost a full 38 through all the third. The other issue is, we can see this green line RPM. These little spiky guys here. So this is either wheel spin or it's clutch slip. So is it possible for the car to spin slicks at 120 miles an hour? It's possible. It's not likely, but it's possible. It was a cold night. Track prep wasn't that great. No one else seemed to have any problems. So that's the main thing. No one else seemed to have any issues. There's like a daily driven Civic there that went like 8.5 or some crap, and he had like no issues. So I mean, it's very likely that this is clutch slip. But I don't know. I didn't have a front wheel speed sensor plugged in. If I had a front wheel speed sensor plugged in, I would have a definitive answer, because obviously if you see this rise in RPM and wheel speed does not increase, it's clutch slip. If you see a rise in RPM and mile an hour also increases, then it's tire spin. So next time I go to the track, I'll have the front wheel speed sensor plugged in, and we'll see what happens. Gonna be a couple of weeks, because Speed World's having a bunch of events and stuff, and so next track day will be a ways out. But yeah, that definitely looks like clutch and not tire spin, because you can see it here too a little bit. Sometimes you can just see the unevenness of the road or the bouncing of the slicks. You can see that in the RPM. This looks super sus. So yeah, if it is clutch, especially how rapid that is, how that's not like it's just like it gets into power and then straight. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't need that negative energy, so we'll just assume that maybe it's, maybe it was tire spin. Maybe it spun the slicks on the rim or something. Who knows? Yeah, it's something we will work through. Other than that, that's pretty much that. That's the triumphant return to drag racing. If this isn't clutch, I plan on trying to do the Sport Compact Finals in December 1st through December 3rd. Maybe do like the 10.0 index, if the car does what I think it'll do. If the car doesn't do what I think it'll do, I'm not gonna abuse it, so come back and regroup. Hate to go through all this just to dial it back to a 11.5 index car, so would be pretty lame. But I mean, the car's definitely making some power. I mean, 580 to 600 horsepower is definitely nothing to sneeze at, and 600 horse and 500 foot-pounds of torque could definitely spin a tire, especially as the boost comes in that aggressively. That's a really aggressive boost ramp, so that could quite possibly have spun a tire. It felt like tire spin, but then when I watched the video, it sounds like clutch slip, but it's really kind of hard to tell the difference. I really don't know. It's a mystery. Well, that'll be it. Till next time, guys.